collect makeup, okay? And makeup is not one of those commodities that is good forever. It expires. So I know for a fact there's stuff in my collection that's expired. There's stuff that I just never use, and it's just taking up space. So let's go ahead and get rid of that crap. Let's get it out of my collection. Let's make room for stuff that I'm actually going to use. If you guys are interested to see this declutter, let's go ahead and start with primers. How's that sound? Sound good? Sounds like an easy feat, right? This is my bucket of sheer disaster / awesomeness. All around here, I don't know if you guys can see that. Around the sides, back here, around the sides here, is primers. Lots and lots of primers. So, first and foremost, I see one now that I loathe. The NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. This primer did absolutely nothing for me. It's awful. It clung very oddly to the foundation. Like when I put foundation over top of this, the foundation looked really weird. It didn't apply properly. It just looked really strange. And I did not care for the way this sat on my skin, not whatsoever. This one is getting decluttered for sure. The Wet n Wild Jelly Primer. This one is actually one that I bought a couple months ago, and I never used it. I bought it because I saw somebody use it, and it looked really cool, and I think they had good things to say about it, but I just didn't get around to using it yet, because I'm a weirdo. So, keeping this one, because I still want to try it out. This one here is different. This is from Illamasqua. I've used it a handful of times. It's not something I use on a regular basis, but it's really odd. Like, you can see the consistency in here is a really thick kind of like liquid. I don't know if I can convey how weird this is on camera. And it dries down really matte on your skin. It's not bad by any means. It's just not my favorite primer. It's definitely one that I can still use and one that I can experiment with and play with a little bit more. So I am going to be keeping this one. This is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. This was one of the first primers I bought when I first started getting into makeup, like hardcore. And it's obvious I knew absolutely nothing about makeup at that time, because if I would have known better, I wouldn't have bought this, because there's rosehip oil in this, which means my makeup is a greasy mess after about 2 hours of having this underneath my foundation. This one's definitely getting decluttered. Alright, next up in here is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Primer. This is also a mattifying primer, and I actually quite like this one. This one reminds me a lot of the Becca Evermatte primer, but better. I don't think this one is as drying as the Becca primer, and it's not as sticky, but it's very, very similar in terms of the way it leaves your skin after you apply it. So I am going to keep this one, and this is just a trial size version anyway. The Smashbox Photo Finish Oil and Shine Control Primer. And I use this one in my collection more than any other primer, which obviously is saying something. So definitely not getting rid of this. Oh, Becca Evermatte. This is a trial size version. I got this probably a little over a year ago, and I don't know what happened, but it, like, when I squeeze it, it comes up through here for whatever reason. It like busted the tube. Don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I will use this one very, very seldom, and it's almost gone. So I'm just going to hang on to this one until it's gone 100%, because, I mean, why not? It's almost gone anyway. So let's just keep this one. But it's not my favorite by any means. Smashbox Super Light Primer. This is another one. This is another one that I really, really enjoy. I've been using it a lot. Whenever I don't use like my oil and shine control one, I use this one. Definitely not getting rid of this because it's something I use in my everyday makeup wear, and it is like a trial size version, so definitely hanging on to this. Ulta Beauty's Hydrating Face Primer. It's coconut water for hydration. Okay, so basically this is supposed to be, I'm assuming, a dupe for like the Too Faced Hangover Primer or whatever it's called. I'm not like aching to open this up. This isn't even open yet. It's a trial size version. I'm not like hell bent on opening this, so I'll probably just pass this one along. to my daughter or to somebody else that'll get some use out of it, because I don't typically use hydrating primers anyway, so I'm just going to pass this one along. The First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. Can you see it? There it is. It's too bright. This one's nice. It's moisturizing. It leaves kind of a glow to your skin. I do like it. It's not my favorite, and I already have, I believe, a larger sized version of this. I'm going to pass this one along to somebody because somebody might be able to get some use out of this, and I already have one that's open. Juice Beauty Phyto Pigments Illuminating Primer. I don't know if this one's shimmery. Are you shimmery? It's shimmery. You can't really see it, but I can see it. Do I need it? Do I want it? Do I need it and want it? I don't know. Am I gonna use it? That's the bigger question. I don't know. I haven't really used it yet, so let's just keep it. Let's just keep it. Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I actually kind of like this one. I like putting this one under real mattifying primers because it helps give it more of that glass skin effect and make it look less like heavy. So I am going to keep this. It is a little deluxe size and it's halfway gone, so keeping that. This one's from VDL. This is the Lumalayer Primer. This one reminds me of the MAC Strobe Cream. It's got like that, I don't know how to explain it, but I know you guys know what, oh, hello. Whoops. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It's got that iridescence to it. Yeah, I see it now. So, it's different. I mean, yeah, you can see it a little bit on my hand there. Probably you know what, I'm going to pass this one on to my daughter. She can use this. She's the lucky one. She gets all the stuff that I can't use or won't use. Tarte Base Tape Hydrating Primer. This one smells so stinking good. It smells like coconuts, and in a better way. Like, not like the Too Faced one. This one smells so much better. And it really is hydrating and makes your skin super soft, so I am going to keep this one. This is called the Thank Me Later Face Primer from Elizabeth Mott. This is, whoops, I believe this is a mattifying primer. I just received this in my latest Ipsy bag. This one is almost identical to the Urban Decay one that I just decluttered because it feels really slippy. You know what, I haven't tried this one yet. I'm going to give this a try. We're going to try it once, and if I don't like it, we're going to declutter it. Do you see what happens? I get excited and I don't want to declutter anything. The Cover FX Mattifying Primer with Anti-Acne Treatment. I did try this a couple times and I didn't care for it, so we're getting rid of this one. Milk Makeup Blurring Stick, or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. It's a little tiny trial size version of this, and if I'm being honest, anytime I use products like this that have a lot of silicone in them, they just end up slipping off my face within a couple hours. My oils mix with them and they end up looking like trash on my face, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. Bobbi Brown's Extra Illuminating Moisture Balm. I don't know if I've even opened this. I have, of course, because I open everything and then I can't do anything with it. Ew, I don't like that. Is that what smells? Yeah, that smells funny as hell. It smells old. Okay, we need to get rid of this. Let's declutter that. Too Faced Primed and Peachy. This one I use occasionally. It does a good job cooling your face and mattifying, and I do like the peach smell, believe it or not. I'm going to keep this one because I actually do kind of like this one. The Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I bought this on Tati Westbrook's recommendation because she recommended it personally. Psych. I watched a video and she used this and her skin always looks flawless, and I fell into that influencer trap. And you can see, or maybe you can't see because my camera's too bright and you can't see. There it is. That little dip. That's all I've used. Not a whole lot. And it's not that I dislike this one because I don't. I think it is nice. It's just not what I expected. It doesn't do everything I thought it would do. It didn't make my dreams come true. But I do like it. I do think that it's got potential, so I'm going to keep this one. The Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte, what is it called? Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. I did get a couple samples of that one. I never did buy the full size because I was never fully sure how I felt about it. But to be totally honest with you, I was never like over the moon about it. I just feel like my makeup breaks up a lot quicker when this is sitting underneath of it. So I am going to get rid of what's left of this. Okay, and then I have a little tiny version of the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. This little tiny guy here. And I also have some of the tinier samples that I got from like a 7-day Sephora, whatever it was, like a trial size type of thingamajiggy. I actually really like the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I don't use it all the time because it's kind of finicky as far as what foundations you can put over top of it. But I am going to keep this because I do like it and it's mad expensive and I'm never going to buy the full size because I'm not paying $50 some for a primer. I ain't going to do it. The Professional. Okay, so the very first time I went to Ulta and I told the ladies working in Ulta, hey, I need a primer. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm new to this stuff. Help me find a primer. Please help me. And they said, what are your skin concerns? And I said, well, I've got oily skin. I've got nasty big pores, some texture. And they said, Professional. You got to get the Benefit Professional. So I did. And it's not that I don't like this one because I kind of do. It just makes my makeup break up. Kind of like the Fenty Beauty one. My makeup does not last over top of this. My oils mix with it and it creates a nasty mess. And it's just not my favorite primer. So these are both like trial sizes. I'm going to pass these along. This was the one that I actually bought in store. I bought like the smaller sized. And you can see how much I still have left. It's over halfway full still. I just never really got on with it that well. It's not my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. Okay, next in here is Becca First Light Priming Filter. I've had this for quite a while and I do like it. I think that it helps to kind of neutralize my skin. Like when I go to put foundation over top, this kind of neutralizes the redness a little bit, which is weird because it's purple. It has a subtle glow to it, so it makes any kind of matte foundation look a little bit glowy, a little luminous. So I do kind of like this one. I also have the full-sized version. I got this as a gift with purchase for buying the Becca Skin Love foundation. So maybe I'll pass the little mini one along. Maybe somebody can get some use out of this tinier version and I'll just keep the full size because I certainly don't need both. I'll never use both. I know this is so professional, guys. I'm like sitting with this stuff on my lap and stuff's falling everywhere. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry, right? This is rather uncomfortable. Next in here is the Professional Matte Rescue. This is like a cream gel or a gel. It's a green gel, okay? I've used it quite a bit. You can see how much is going out of the tube. Should I keep it and try it again? See what I do? I don't want to get rid of anything. I mean, everything, that feels pretty matte. Let's keep this one. Let's try this one again. I'm not ready to give it up yet. The IPKN, what is this? Radiant Cream Primer. I feel like this is another one of those holographic, not holographic, but like strobe cream primers. Because it is. There's like 100 of them floating around out there. This is another stinky one. I don't know why it smells that way. It's probably because it's really old. But I just don't use primers like that. It's like, it's got this really weird, like, purpley pink shift to it. I don't know if you guys can see that on my pointer finger here. But I don't want my face to look like that. I have no desire for my face to shift purple and pink, so getting rid of this one. I believe I got that one as like a sample in an Ipsy bag. Here are more of the First Day Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Primer Moisturizer blah blah blahs. Okay, this one is brand new. It's still got the little tab in it. That's good to go, so I am going to keep this one since it hasn't been opened yet. This one, however, has been open for quite some time, and I feel like it's nearing the end of its shelf life. It's got a 12-month shelf life, so let's go ahead and pitch this one since I do have a full-size version or like a mini-size version. I'm going to get rid of this one. I don't need to. Okay. This is from Illamasqua. This is their Hydra Veil. It's like a gel. I haven't even opened this one. I think I got this one in an Ipsy bag, or maybe I got it in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus, but it was from Ipsy. Same kind of concept as the bigger one. This one's matte. This one's hydrating. So let's open this up. I don't know. Ooh, that's kind of weird. It's like a jelly. You see that? It's a jelly. Oh, it's kind of like the Wet n Wild one. It's a weird jelly consistency. Hold on. Is it oily or is it moisturizing? If it's oily, I'm just going to throw it in the giveaway pile. Minimizes pores. Ooh. This doesn't say it has any oil in it. I'm going to keep this one. That's kind of interesting. And it doesn't feel oily or like real slippy, so let's keep that one. This one's from AOA. This is their Wonder Skin Mattifying Primer. I tried this out in my Shop Miss A haul, and because I also did like a full face of Shop Miss A products, and I haven't used it since. I know that when I did that makeup look, my face was itching horribly, so I've been terrified to put that stuff back on my face. So I'm actually going to go ahead and declutter this one. Wander Beauty Glotion? Yeah, Glotion. Uh-oh, we got another shiny primer. Oh, this one's not even open yet, so let's just keep it. It's not even open. I get a lot of samples between Ipsy, and I used to have BoxyCharm and Allure and Sephora Play and Birchbox. I used to have all those. Now I only have Ipsy, Glam Bag, and Allure, so I don't get as many primers and as many like samples and stuff. So this should get better as time goes on, but for now it's a mess. The Professional Pearl Primer. Nope, this one makes my face too slippy. This one is just not good news for oily skin, so this one is like a little trial size version. I've never used it. I'm going to pass this along probably to my daughter. The beloved and infamous e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is one that I have tried. I mean, it's got a, I don't know if I can show you the dip in there because the lighting is so bright. There it is. It's got a little decent sized dip on that side of the pan. It's not my favorite primer in the world. Contrary to popular belief, I don't think this is an exact dupe for the Tatcha primer. The consistency is just way too different. Like, okay, if I rub my finger in here, at first it kind of feels weird because it's solid, right? But if you do one of these numbers in your fingertips, it almost feels oily. Like it's not. Well, maybe it is. It feels a little greasy. When you do that with the Silk Canvas primer, it doesn't feel like that. It just feels silky. This feels kind of greasy. So that's the difference, y'all. Again, I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite, but I am going to keep this one. If nothing else, for YouTube reference and for videos. So, keeping that one. Peter Thomas Roth Skin to Die For. This is like an oil-free mattifying primer that's supposed to make your skin look really smooth. I do kind of like these. I think that it makes your skin look really soft and smooth. Again, I do have 2 of them. Maybe I'll pass one along. That one's not even open yet. So I'm going to get rid of this one here because I have had it for quite some time, and I'm going to keep this other little trial sized. Cover FX Gripping Primer. This one was all the rage and all the hype. I think it's okay. I don't really understand all the hype. Like, it's alright. It's not a bad primer, but I wouldn't stand in line for a couple hours for it, and I wouldn't, like, refresh the website 900 times until I got it because people selling out everywhere. Like, it's okay. I'm definitely going to keep it, not going to declutter it, but I don't really understand why everyone's going crazy about it. This was the first full-sized luxury primer I ever bought. This is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Pore Refiner Primer. When I first really got into makeup, my really good friend Sarah was kind of the one that inspired me to get into makeup like I am. And when I asked her what primer she used, this is the one she said she used. And at the time I was like, okay, you know, that's why her skin looks like it does. So I went out and bought it. And then I ended up getting a trial size version of it. So I had 2 for a while. So this one's not even open yet. And I did really enjoy it. So I am going to actually keep this one. I'm not doing so good, guys. My piles are looking a bit uneven. Becca's Backlight Priming Filter. This one is kind of like it's an illuminating primer. You can see that. You can see that it's like shimmery. I really don't mind this one. I think it makes your skin look really nice. It makes it look kind of dewy, especially if you have it underneath of a mattifying foundation. Like, I don't know if I can convey the shininess, maybe. I've got primer everywhere, guys. It's pretty gross, actually. I don't know. I don't really mind this one. I think it's pretty nice. It has a really nice smell to it, like kind of like a soft, clean smell to it. I like it. I'm going to actually keep this one. Milani Instant Touch-Up. This one is a friggin' nightmare. I'm not really sure if this is like straight silicone or what this is. I bought it. Oh, it's okay. I bought this because it was on sale at Ulta, like on their clearance rack. I think it was like $3 or $4, something like that. But it's just not ideal. I mean, I don't know. Anything that's really silicone-y or has a lot of dimethicone in it or whatever, like, they would lead you to believe that it's good for oily skin, but I really just don't feel like it is. Like, it's just, eventually your oils are going to poke through and it's just going to be a nasty, sloppy mess. So I am going to get rid of this one. I just don't like what it does for me. Oh, here we go. YSL Touche Eclat Blur Primer. This one did me no favors. I actually used this one not too long ago in a trying makeup I don't like video. I just don't care for it. It leaves my face kind of greasy. It's got these little gold flecks in there that I don't quite understand, and it's just not my jam, so this one's going bye-byes. This is the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish with this primer, y'all, but let me tell you something. When I got this and I tried it for the first time, it made my skin feel so weird. And I don't understand it. It's like a yellow, ew, okay, wow. It's no good, that's bad, that needs to go. Anyway though, it like was powdery. It was liquid and then it felt powdery and not in a good way, and it just wasn't a very good primer. Smashbox All-Star Primer. This one's one that I never really gave a fair chance, if I'm being honest. When I first got it, I was just excited to have it. And I also had 900 other primers at the time. So I think I used it like once or twice, and then it was like on to the next thing. And I don't really know how I feel about it. I don't think it's the bee's knees, or else I would remember that about it. You know what? I'm going to hang on to it and give it a little bit more try, because I don't really remember. The Touch in Soul No Problem Primer. This one's not like my favorite primer. It's alright. It doesn't really help mattify my skin or anything. It does help with pores minimally. I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to keep that one. The Urban Decay Self-Adjusting Primer. This one I bought full size. You can see how little I used of this. This one's really odd. I don't know if I can show you what it looks like here. When you pump this out, it's going to be probably stiff because it's old. Ew. Okay. When you pump it out, it's white or grayish colored. But there's these little beads in there that turn skin tone colored when you start to rub it into the skin. Let me see if I can show you. But it feels very similar to the other primer from Urban Decay. Very silicone based, very slippy. Hold on, let me turn this light down because it's too bright. You can see, oh, that's so much better. You can see where it kind of like turned into my skin tone. Because of that, this is actually a really cool product. But it's very silicone based, so if you have oily skin, this just is not going to wear very long on your skin, but it is pretty cool, and you could probably just wear this all on its own without putting foundation over, because it does turn the color of your skin tone. So I don't hate it. I just can't really wear it because of my skin type. But if you do have dry skin, you might want to try this. It's actually pretty cool. Okay, let's just power through this. I know this has been a long video, and I'm so sorry, but like I said before, I have an insane amount of these products, which is why I need to do this declutter so bad. So let's move right along. We're almost done. I'm probably going to go ahead and do the concealers in a different video, because this is just far too much. This is the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer from First Aid Beauty. I actually really quite like this one. This one smells like watermelon, which is kind of odd because I don't think it's supposed to. It does help mattify. It helps to minimize the pores ever so slightly. It's not my favorite mattifying primer, but it's also not my least favorite, but I do like it, so I'm keeping it. Okay, this is the Pixi by Petra Flawless and Poreless Primer. I don't really feel like this did a whole lot for me. I want to say this was quite pricey too. Pixie is not I wouldn't say it's all that affordable. It's like luxury drugstore, if that makes sense. It's supposed to be pore minimizing. I didn't really see it. Maybe my daughter will get some use out of this because I'm just not going to use it and there's no sense in me keeping it. So, getting decluttered. The e.l.f. What is this? The Lit From Within primer. This one is more or less like a lotion. I think I bought this because somebody on Instagram recommended it to me. This is nothing like outstanding to me. It feels like a really thick, heavy lotion. It's kind of greasy. Definitely don't need it. Somebody that has dry skin would benefit from this more as opposed to somebody with oily skin, so I'm getting rid of that. This is the MAC Strobe Cream. I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's nothing I'm going to ever use. So, passing that on. This is from Coola. This is their mineral sunscreen. It's got a matte tint to it. I actually have the full-size version I bought of this because I liked this one, and then I never opened it, so there's that. This is the Pure No Filter Blurring Photography Primer. I don't think I ever used this. Oh, it's watery. That's bad. That's gonna be trash. I don't even think I got a chance to use that one, but that's gross. This is the Maybelline Master Prime. This one's a moisturizing primer. You know what? It's not greasy, so maybe I'll give this one a try and put it underneath of a mattifying foundation. I'm gonna keep that. Okay, this is the Bare Minerals Primetime Original Foundation Primer. If I remember correctly, I want to say this one was kind of greasy. I just don't like the way that feels on my skin. I'm getting rid of this. I don't care for that at all. It just feels greasy to me. Like, I can see how that would feel good on dry skin, but not on oily skin. The Time Balm Face... What? The Time Balm Primer from The Balm. I got this when The Balm was having like a crazy good sale. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to purchase it. But if I remember correctly, this is just a really thick silicone-y primer. Uh-huh. Yep. It's just not my jam. It's just not my thing. So, I'm also going to declutter this one. The Yinza Tone Up Primer. This one is like a glowy primer. I got this one in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus, I believe. They gave me a full size. I also have a trial size version of this that I've never used up. I don't know. I'm going to keep this one because I'm really not 100% sure how I feel about it. And I want to give it a little bit more of a chance, so let's keep it. It's not silicone-y, so I don't hate it. The No Problem Prime Essence from Touch and Soul. This one was weird. I don't really know what this was trying to accomplish, but it was super watery. It is super watery. It doesn't feel oily. Let's give it some more tries. I don't know. I just want to be done by this point. There's the Get Out. The trial size version of that Yinza Essential Glow that I have the full size version, so I'm going to give the little trial sized away. There's more of the Hangover. Let's give that away. This one is the Clinique Pep Start Hydro Blur Moisturizer. It's like silicone moisturizer. It's weird. That's odd. Let's keep that one. That one's kind of strange. Almost done. The Cover FX Blurring Primer. We got this one in a BoxyCharm. It's a full-size version, and I never did like it. It's silicone-based. It's tinted, like brown, which is fine, but it's silicone-based, and it just was not something I was ever real thrilled about. So we're going to pass that one along. The Strivectin Anti-Wrinkle Line Blurfector. This has, like, amazing ratings, and from what I can tell, it's just like it's a silicone-based primer. I don't know, what's the shelf life? 18 months? I'm going to hang on to this a little while longer just because the shelf, it's still good to keep in my collection. And I want to see what the hype's about. Why does everybody love it so much? Because I don't know. We'll keep it. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. This is to help with like redness. It's their green-based primer. I thought this one was okay. It's not horrible, but it is silicone-based. And I can cover my redness up with foundation or concealer, so I'm going to get rid of this one. It's a trial size version, and I've barely used any of it. Smashbox Primerizer, I actually kind of liked this one, so that one's getting kept. It's like a moisturizing primer. This is the Pure Correcting Primer. Again, these are expired. That one's getting the boot because I got all those trial sizes at the same time and they're all expired. The Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer. Ooh, Kathleen Lights raves about this one all the time. I haven't tried this one yet, so let's keep it. The Spackle Hydrating Moisturizing Under Makeup Primer from Laura Geller. I don't know if I like this one or not. I can't remember if I even tried it. Let's just give it a little swirly here. I like to let it dry down to see if it feels greasy, because if it does, I just get rid of it. No, I don't think it feels greasy at all, but I've got 2 of them, so... Oh, that one's not open. Okay, let's keep the not open one. Let's declutter the open one. The Skin Love from Becca. Skin Love Brighten and Blur Primer. You can't see, the lights are too bright. The Skin Love Brighten and Blur Primer from Becca. I actually really like this one. It does help to brighten and blur, and I think it makes your skin look nice and soft and not greasy or oily, so keeping that one. It's a trial size. I literally would probably buy the full sized. This is the Milani Prime and Perfect, or Prime Perfection. I think it's a hydrating primer. While I'm waiting for that one to dry, another one of the pure ones that we'll just throw it on the floor. This is from MAC. This is their MAC Prep and Prime. Now that one's got to dry. Oh, I'm a priming machine. Almost done. Thank God, because it's going to be a 45-minute long video. Oh, the Prep and Prime is actually pretty nice. I'm keeping that one. The Milani one is real hydrating. I'm going to go ahead and keep the Milani Prime Perfection. Oh, we're down to the last little tiny handful. Okay, another one of the Tatcha samples, keeping that one. Don't mind the mess in the background. It's just my messy room. The Ulta Beauty Poreless Face Primer. This one is really silicone-y from what I remember. Yep. Not keeping this one. I'm going to pass that one along. Another one of the Professional. That's going bye-byes. The Ulta Beauty Mattifying Face Primer. I don't think I've used this one, so I'm going to keep it. And last but not least, a little mini-size trial version of the Touch in Sol No Pore Balm Primer, which I have the full size, so I don't need this one, so this one's going to the garbage. And I'm done. Oh no, I lied. I got one more. Tarte's Rainforest of the Sea Quench Primer. I actually think this one's really hydrating. I'm going to keep that one. Alright, so you guys want to see what I kept and what I threw away? I actually did a lot better than I thought I was going to do. I'm actually quite proud of myself. Alright guys, so I know this looks like a lot, and I guess it kind of is, but in comparison, when you look at like everything that I'm getting rid of, this really isn't that bad. I probably have between 30 and 40 in here still, which is insane. I didn't realize I had that much, but these are the ones I'm going to go ahead and keep, just because it's ones that I either know I love or ones that I haven't given enough chance to, and I want to continue to use. So again, I know it's crazy, but these are the ones I'm keeping. These are the ones that I'm getting rid of, which is quite a few, honestly. It's a lot of trial sizes now that I'm really looking at it. Because again, I was getting a lot of stuff like that in subscription boxes and as gift with purchases, and I really don't get a whole lot of that anymore. So these are all the ones I'm getting rid of. I think I have just as many getting rid of as I'm keeping. I think this was pretty successful, and I'm looking forward to doing more declutter videos. This was like super helpful. Alright guys, I'm looking like a hot freaking greasy mess right now because I've had this makeup on for way too long, but I'm excited to have this declutter video finished. I feel like I made some real progress with it. I'm happy I'm getting rid of all those primers because I was having such a hard time finding a primer. No wonder why. If you like this kind of video, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. That way I know you like it. You want to see more videos like that from me. If you haven't already, please take the time to subscribe to my content. Go ahead and hit that notification bell. That way YouTube lets you know every time I upload a video. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.